Take a moment to ask yourself what kind of things you say to yourself when no one is around. I mean, that constant voice in your head narrating your every move, the one that can help you reach your goals, can help you change, fight fears and doubts. Or if you change it and turn it into a destructive language, can set you up for failure. That's kind of like our dark half, the dark half of our personality. And that voice inside of each and every one of us can become the enabler of an ordinary and average existence. The scary part of this is that most people don't even realize how much that voice is shaping their life. Um, we we don't really pay attention to the fact that it's the it's the only voice that follows you, me, and each one of us everywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. It has access to talk to you and me in any way, positive, negative, anytime, any place, and under any circumstances. And the scary thing is that it does that with our permission. If you think about it, we replay thousands of hours of toxic self talk on repeat for years, just poisoning how we see ourselves, poisoning the perception that we have of ourselves. What is the worst part of all of this is that most of the time we don't even realize it's happening because it has become second nature. We have done it so much, so consistently, that it becomes a habit. It becomes part of our core. It's wired into how we see ourselves and how the world creates our perception of what's real and possible, what we believe that is really happening and what we believe that can happen. That's how we interpret every moment that we live, every sensation, every experience. And silently, it drives the way we think, the way we feel, the way we respond to life, the way we react, the way we see things. It just takes control of our perception, the way what we think of the things happening around us. Our self talk is like sounds like I'm such an idiot. I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. And the truth is that those words, they are not harmless. Those become commands that your brain will take very seriously. They shape your self image, they shape your confidence, and also the willingness that you have to face challenges. The, the way you talk to yourself distorts your sense of who you are, and you believe what it tells you. It becomes so common every single day and repetitive that in the end we believe the things that we're telling ourselves, even if it's talking in a destructive way, as telling ourselves that we're not strong, we're not disciplined, we're not lovable, or we're not capable of achieving our goals. When your inner voice keeps repeating the same lies over and over and over endlessly, days pass by, weeks pass by, months pass by, years pass by. It stops. Everything stops sounding as lies. The things that it tells us, they become the person that we are. They don't sound as lies anymore. What is the key in all of this? The key is to change the way you speak to yourself, to make it more supportive, more courageous, more positive without being too positive. because that turns into delusional language. Too much positivism turns into fantasy, and it's more like motivational talking, which is short lived and kind of dreamy. We gotta aim more for like long term sustainability of high performance in our minds. We have to stay adaptable and balance ambitions with patience, knowing that real changes, if there is something that we really want to change, it takes time. It's not gonna happen in a heartbeat. It doesn't matter how much we want it. And it doesn't happen simply because we want it. It's reality. It takes time. When we change, you will notice that the world treats you different. Not because the world has changed, but because you have changed. The world won't change for you or anybody else. That's on you. That's on me. That's on us. We cannot expect the world to align to what we want, to the way we want it to be. It's more like we have to work in order to align to the with the kind of person that we want to become. To do that, we have to be open to the possibility of change. But don't forget that real change won't come from chasing quick, dramatic results. It comes from noticing the subtle shifts, taking root when you dare to take action, being taking action, being bold, unapologetical, and daring, not with the need of results, but instead of looking for results, you have the need to act in a purpose driven way. What am I trying to achieve? The person that I'm trying to become before I can achieve the results that we want. I want to talk a little bit about what will help us push our limits. And the way to start changing and pushing our limits, to start in a subtle way, think about curiosity. Allow the question, what if, to be the curiosity force behind the desire to try new things, experiment, adventure yourself into unfamiliar territory with the goal in mind to learn and discover more about yourself. What if is going to help you know more about your emotional patterns and responses? You're going to get knowledge that you didn't have before. The way you approach your successes and failures is the blueprint of your personality. Uncovering the signs of your mentality, your recurring patterns, your behavior, and your self imposed limits. And that what if is we're talking about acting little by little. What if I can do it? What if I jump? You know, but we have to be careful with the way we rephrase our what ifs because they can go negative or positive. They should sound like, what if I can do a little better? What if I assume I'm good enough for this challenge? Just to see what happens. But some people is, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? No, you gotta turn it in a little more positive way and say, what if I just push a little harder here? What if I believe for a couple of minutes that I can become that person and take action? And don't expect what ifs to make you keep to allow you to keep extended periods of high performance. If you're doing well with it, what if, hey, I'm gonna risk it and think that I can do it, and then you're gonna notice you're doing better, and you're probably doing at a level that you're not used to do yet. It's don't expect that it's gonna extend for too long because you're not at that level yet. That's more like dream forged expectations. Instead, is the what if is gonna show you a glimpse of what you're capable of doing if you break past your own limits, and from that moment forward, your responsibility is to chase that higher version of yourself. So it's just gonna show you a little bit of the person you can become. And when you catch it, you have to say, okay, that's my potential. I can be that person, but if I want it to be permanent, if I want to permanently become that person, I have to keep working. Your brain doesn't just listen to your self talk. It builds around it. The proper language will make it strong and resilient. But if the way you talk to yourself is full of shame, fear, negativity, the brain adapts to that too, and it accepts it. It will take it. Don't don't try to change the circumstances or the environment around you. Think more that instead of trying to make the world around you change, be different with the conversation, with the way you talk to yourself. When you hear that voice, that inner critic, if you name it, let's say this is my dark half, or my fearful me. If you give it a name, it helps you. It helps separate you from the voice. Two different things, two different persons. It's not you talking. It's a script that you were handed by other people that were judging and labeling you, and doing it for such a long time that we've seen it. People criticizing us, that we ended up adopting and believing what they say, and it's not necessarily the truth. It's important to let go of that kind of destructive and shameful self language, and instead choose words that will give you the courage to take action, not really focusing on achieving results. It's more on changing yourself, on becoming that person first, the person that you need to be to get the right results. And you have to remember, growth isn't handed out by, it's not like manifestations and vibrations and fate or the universe. It's something that you have to earn through discipline, effort, persistence, just working hard. Don't rely on something external to give you what you want. Speak to yourself with belief behind your words. That's super important. You guys got to be belief. If you don't believe you can do it, it's not gonna happen. You have to emphasize on improving 1% every day. That's good enough. And adopt the relentless work ethic of world class performers, of people that are very successful in their fields. Keep free your effort from limiting conditioning. I'm meaning, don't condition your efforts until you see results. If you don't do that, you don't have to worry about the results. They will come. But don't condition your efforts. Be mindful of your inner dialogue, because every belief that you have was born from a sentence you once accepted without thinking. Don't wait until your own voice becomes your biggest enemy. You have to master it now. Otherwise, it will master you, it will control you. The longer you let it run unchecked, the longer you let that voice go on and you don't pay attention to it, the more difficult it's going to be to take back control of yourself. Subscribe to my channel, please. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.